On this week's news, Sebastian Vettel continues negotiations with Aston Martin, while Nigel Mansell rocks Goodwood. You can now watch full 24-minute episodes of The Inside Line at our official home on unbeaten.com. Aston Martin hopes to re-sign its four-time F1 world champion Sebastian Vettel for 2023 and beyond, with team boss Mike Crack admitting talks are ongoing, with no deadline set for a result. Vettel, who hasn't won a race since 2019, is expected to make a decision during the European summer on whether he wants to continue racing F1. Goodwood was the place to be last weekend as the traditional precursor to the British Grand Prix, and there was plenty to celebrate, starting with its centerpiece marking 50 years of BMW M. And while the event celebrates all things speed, F1 always plays a huge part, with 2022 a massive milestone for beloved Brit Nigel Mansell, who was reunited with his iconic Williams FW14B. 30 years after winning the World Championship with it. Mansell had a number of runs up the hill, including in his first Ferrari, the 1989 640, with which he won in Brazil and Hungary. His countryman George Russell was also on hand, flying the flag for the Silver Arrows in the 2019 title-winning Mercedes W10. But the show was stolen by ex-F1 driver Max Chilton, who smashed the official hill climb record time in the McMurtry Automotive Spieling fan car by 2.5 seconds. AlphaTauri has confirmed that it will run Pierre Gasly in 2023, despite the Frenchman locked in for the final year of his contract. Gasly has been a star of the Red Bull sister team since he returned there from the 2019 Belgian Grand Prix, consistently outperforming the car and scoring a famous win at Monza in 2020. But his way back to the brand's top team has been blocked by veteran Sergio Perez, who has taken the fight to teammate Max Verstappen with the RB18 a far less unstable drive than its predecessors. AlphaTauri, though, wants to hold on to its best asset beyond 2023 and still hopes a deal can be done despite Gasly assessing options. Undoubtedly, Pierre can play a major role in the team having a successful season next year, and it will be down to us to provide him with a competitive car so that he can continue to deliver excellent results, said team boss Franz Tost. It'll be all eyes on Marseille's Circuit Paul Ricard next month, with Alpine junior Oscar Piastri set for his first FP1 outing at the French Grand Prix. Piastri is F1's hottest prospect, having won 3 straight junior titles, but is waiting on the sidelines as Alpine's reserve ahead of an expected race drive farmed out to another team in 2023. Alpine is yet to confirm Piastri's outing in France, but has said it won't be at Silverstone, nor would it be Austria, with F1's first sprint there, making Paul Ricard the next best option. Piastri has been active this year testing for Alpine, having been in Qatar earlier this year with Jack Doohan. The Australian last raced at Paul Ricard in Formula Renault Eurocup back in 2019, when he took 2nd and 6th in the 2 races held, en route to his first major title before F3 and F2. Alfa Romeo driver Zhou Guanyu is excited for his first British Grand Prix, with Silverstone one of his favorites from his time in feeder series F2. Guanyu, the only rookie in the 2022 field, has had a standout campaign so far, with strong racecraft and points at the last round in Canada. But the Shanghainese driver said in a chat with F1's official podcast Beyond the Grid that he's ready for the British experience, having won last year's F2 feature race at the iconic track.
Normally that's a race that a lot of people coming watching me from my family or from my friends, so it's a super unique track to be driving. So yeah, I always love it. Was one of my favorite race in Formula 2.
Guanyu made a step forward in Azerbaijan, which teammate Valtteri Bottas praised, stating he was in a different league there. But the Chinese driver is just happy to be getting up to speed.
I was able to, have to say, on Friday, matching more his pace. I think everyone is happy to see, also him, because then we really can push each other to finding this final few temps where we have our full potential in the car.
Mercedes is expecting to see improved form at Silverstone, with its home track set to suit it like Barcelona did, but can't see it outshining the sport's frontrunners Red Bull and Ferrari. The Silver Arrows are throwing everything at a return to the front, with the squad bringing a series of upgrades to the British Grand Prix, but are not expecting to leapfrog its rivals there.
I think Silverstone will be a circuit that suits us a little bit better, like Barcelona did, but maybe they're just going to be a little bit difficult. But whatever happens, we will push as hard as we can. Our drivers will push as hard as we can, because we want to get back to winning.
Mercedes was back on the podium in Canada, with Sir Lewis Hamilton third ahead of teammate George Russell. But the squad is under no illusions the result was flattered with missing names up front.
Clearly Leclerc wasn't there, Perez wasn't there, and we were sort of not gifted that place because we deserved it, but we would have finished 5th and 6th if they'd have been in the running.
Australian Grand Prix Corporation Chief Executive Andrew Westacott has opened up on bringing official feeder series F2 and F3 down under from next year as part of his event's recent 10-year deal extension to 2035, stating they were part of F1's expansion plans. Albert Park has not been short of support races since its maiden F1 run in 1996. But Westacott, in a chat with the event's official podcast In the Fast Lane, says the benefit of F2 and F3 is clear.
Formula One has desires to grow its championships, F1, F2, F3, and so then it became part of the dialogue in a more detailed manner between Formula One, ourselves, and the Victorian government, and that became an important part of the extension. What it does is it broadens the international footprint, increases the visitation and the interest, and it provides another enhancement to our event.
Carlos Sainz's hometown of Madrid is now hoping to host a Grand Prix, with the Spanish capital formally expressing interest despite the nation's race contracted to rival Barcelona until 2026. Madrid hosted its last of 9 Grands Prix at the Jarama track in 1981, a venue that does not currently meet F1 standards. But the Spanish city is keen to sign an agreement for the sport to return, especially after rival Barcelona proved underprepared for huge crowds this year, with Madrid's cabinet minister Enrique Lopez sending a letter of request to F1's president and CEO Stefano Domenicali. F1 is flush with interest at the moment, with next year seeing Las Vegas return to the calendar, along with Qatar after a 1-year break, and the potential for South Africa too. Last week saw familiar faces in unfamiliar places when 2016 F1 World Champion Nico Rosberg rebooted his competitive spirit with a test run in his Extreme E-Team's Odyssey 21 car at the Nürburgring Off-Road Park in his native Germany. Rosberg has rarely been seen in a race car since the end of 2016, when he retired from F1 just days after he lifted the crown. But the German got behind the wheel for a run in his Rosberg X racing car ahead of the squad's next event, the Island X Prix doubleheader in Sardinia next month. Rosberg was cool and calm in the cockpit while getting up to speed, but showed he's still got fire in the belly as he felt the car's 400 kilowatts below his right foot, and it made quite an impression.
Awesome! This is so cool! It's a friggin' tank!
Rosberg's squad are the reigning Extreme E champions and won 2022's opening round, the Desert X Prix in Saudi Arabia. Thanks for watching. To stay up to speed on all things Formula One, make sure you hit the subscribe button.